When you're working on an application locally, it's pretty likely that you're going to be going through phases where you're refreshing your database and reseeding it and starting from scratch several times over in quick succession. And when you do that, it can be a little bit annoying to go to the login page and have to log in every time because something's changed, your cookie is no longer valid. But we're going to do something about that right now. So I'm going to come back to the application and go to our .env file. And I'm going to paste this in. You can see here I've got a default username, email, password, and then also an option if we want to prefill the login. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to use these details to set up a seeder, and also, if that's set, we're going to use it to prefill the login page so that we can very quickly get back to a logged in state when we're in a local environment. We've added it to our main env file, but we're going to also add it to the example file, so that's not forgotten. And then we're going to come across and in our config directory, we're going to create a new config and we're going to call that default user.php. And so I'm going to paste in here something that's just pointing to those environment variables that we just created. So we can call default user name, email, password, and then whether or not that should be pre-filled. So that is all we need to get that set up. Next, we're going to go over and create a new seeder. I think we already start with a seeder, so we can look at that. So the default database seeder here is going to work for us. So let's start to use that. We are going to use this and create an account where the name is config default user name. And then we'll do the same for each of these as well to make sure that the email address and the password are also set up. So now when we run artisan db seed, this should be working. And if I now tinker into this application, we can say user all, and we can see that name and email is now being used to seed the database for this. So that's great. That's step one. And step two is going to be to come and use these in the login page. So we're going to find the relevant view, which is in this case, resources views, livewire, or login.blade.php. And if we look for the actual login form, we've got the input here for the email and the input here for the password. Because we're using livewire, these are wire modeled to email and password. So we can come up to the component in here and let's create a new boot method where we can say, hey, set these default values. And here we can also firstly check if that default user.prefill login is checked before we do that. So now we can very quickly and easily toggle this on and off with the Boolean from this flag that we set. But if I come back to the login page now, it's already refreshed, you can see we have the username and password there. And you can see we can log straight in. And that saves us so much time. It's a few seconds here and there, but every second counts.